It is ProtoEV London 2024. I'm Mike Lawrenson.
And I'm Blair Henry.
And we are back for another year. We have had some brilliant times over the last 4 or 5 months with this year's group. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about last year. So, Oasis, last year's winners, what do we think about them?
Tough team to beat. They were just absolutely phenomenal in most of the areas. And in fact, their two teams took all but, I believe, 1 or 2 of the awards last time. So honestly, it's going to be very tough for any of the teams to compete with Oasis, the high standards that they set from last season. So it'll be interested to see if anyone can come through this year to take the title from them.
Yeah, well, there is a slight change with Oasis's team this year. So last year they had their 2 teams. They're still running 2 teams this year, but this time they have a boys team and a girls team. So that will be interesting to see how they get on with that. Not to mention we have got some new teams as well. So if you want to run through the new teams.
So with some of we have 3 new teams who will be taking part in this year's competition. So we have Phipps Youth Centre based in Merton. We also have the Woodpecker Youth Club as well as Leaways High School. So 3 new teams all coming on board to take the crown away from our champions Oasis. Can they deliver, or will Oasis stay on top of the podium as our current champions?
That we will have to get through to. But a little bit about how we're going to break down the win, first of all. The way we're doing the trophies is changing this time as well. So rather than it being primarily based on who's fastest and who's most energy efficient, we're breaking down the individual roles this time. So we're going to go for the best designer, we're going to go for the best team principal, the person who raised the most amount of money, fastest driver obviously being one of them with the fastest lap. So we're breaking down every individual role, so there's plenty up for grabs.
And the biggest thing on the final day, we're going to introduce our teams to many different industry professionals from areas such as Formula One, Electric Revolution Skills Hub, from Innovate UK, and also our partners at Team Sport Karting to deliver the trophies, but also to engage with our participants about the careers that are available in the world of STEM.
And speaking of team sport, let's get down to our induction day. We are here at Team Sport Mitcham for the induction day at ProtoEV London 2024.
First things first, I did ask some of you.
First up, Blair Henry is introducing the teams on what they will be doing for the next 8 weeks of the programme.
We've recently, you'll be sending it to our teams just to give us an update on how you're getting on with the programme. There's also the aspects of the...
Next, lead engineer Mike ran through the schedule of the practice days and what will happen in the race final. Worked on some nice cars, but now... Last but not least, motorsport icon Carol Glenn inspired the group on her impact on diversity in motorsport.
The second black child was my sister.
After the induction was done, the teams got to try out the brand new electric karts thanks to our partners at Team Sport.
There's people who've been doing petrol karts for a long, long time, and the Blair project has been out there championing the cause for electric, and now suddenly you're now the ambassadors for doing that.
So, what will the teams be doing over the next 8 weeks? Between weeks 1 and 2, the teams will be designing their own names, their own logos and their own car designs. Through weeks 3 and 4, they will be trying to raise as much money as they possibly can to help them get the best out of the performance of the go-kart. Through 5, 6, 7 and 8, the teams will be building their e-karts, converting them from petrol all the way to electric. So, Carol, what do you say to schools or youth groups, organisations that want to be a part of the electric revolution and to get involved with STEM programmes such as ProtoEV?
To not be afraid to come and to take part or to show an interest or to even invest in especially in things like the Blair project, because they'll sort of look at you and think, oh, you're very small, what do you know? But in fact, you guys have been building the knowledge, looking at the technology for such a long time that you are the masters of your industry now. So other people should be coming to you to ask questions. So they shouldn't be afraid of who you are, because you are the masters.
Well, that was a great induction day. I just want to say again, a big thanks to Carol Glenn. Some inspirational words being spoken about there. Anyway, I enjoyed it as well. I mean, I got to go out on track with the youngsters and share the moment with them, and it was it was overall a good day.
How did you find it, like racing against some of our competitors who are going to be taking part this year?
Some of them are going to be top drivers when they're older. It was good fun, but the competition's going to be tough when it comes to the race final. So anyway, what are they going to be up to then for the next 8 weeks?
So after the induction, the teams are going to be starting lesson 1 of the ProtoEV STEM challenge. So to give a quick summary of what they go through over the next 3 months, that the ProtoEV STEM challenge is more than just you putting a go-kart together from petrol to electric. It's also about the teams coming together and identifying what their own individual strengths and weaknesses are to find out where they are best placed to be in the team. So we have 5 teams taking part, and each team will have a group of 8 to 12 individuals in that team, and they'll all be given like different separate roles. So they'll have to come together to find out who's the best suited to be the team manager, best suited to be the design engineer for the go-kart. There's also has to be someone in charge of, let's say, the marketing side of things, because we also task the teams to do a sponsorship raise. And we also encourage them to do social media as well, to send us like pictures of how they're getting on with their program, and to give us like updates on how some of the struggles that they've been through, and basically to create like a journey of like where they started from and where they're currently at in terms of taking part in the program itself. So there's many different aspects, and then obviously the hardest one being who's going to be the main race driver of the team.
People always fight over that one, don't they?
All the time. It's never an easy decision to make. Let's put it that way. So, but it's all a fantastic experience for the young people, and it's all about just showing them these different areas that they can work in a STEM-based career. So once they've gone through these different 8 lesson plans over the next 3 months, that's where it then leads us on to our first test day, which we are looking forward to seeing how they got on with the lessons and putting their go-karts together. So, Michael, I'll just pass on to you for test day 1.
So this is going to be the first time where not only we see what the teams have been up to over the last 8 weeks, but the teams themselves get to see what they're going to be competing against. So let's get into test day 1. We are here at Track Racing Croydon for the first test day. Nice dry weather today. Hopefully we get some good testing in during today. But first, let's go and meet the teams. First up is Dream Boba from Phipps. They are still working on their go-kart, but will they be ready before the end of the first test day? Next up is our 2 Oasis teams. The boys team, called the Only Oasis Family, with test driver Isaiah. The girls team is called Too Fast Too Furious, with driver Roxy. Roxy is showing great teamwork by helping out the boys get ready for their test. First to take on the track is the Only Oasis Family, with test driver Isaiah at the helm. So here we go. Isaiah is the first person to hit the track of ProtoEV 2024. Nice line through turn 1, and same again through turn 2. Just a little bit further, and that is the sector 1 complete. Ooh, a little bit wide on the turn 3, coming onto the Innovate straight. Entering sector 2 now. Nice and tight on the inside, coming through the Team Sport chicane. Nicely coming into sector 3, just the final 2 turns to go, and that is a good lap from Isaiah. That will conclude Isaiah's session here today at test day 1. I hope himself and the team are proud of his session. That was a brilliant performance he's put in today. Next up to hit the track is Roxy from Team Too Fast Too Furious. Let's hope Roxy has a great time out on track. So here we go, this is the second session of the day, and Roxy is out, taking it nice and easy. as we know, it is only a test day, so none of these lap times count towards the scores on the race final. This is purely a test to make sure everything is in working order and to get used to the kart itself. I'm sure she'll be quicker by test day 2 and the race final. But good lines though from Roxy, even though she's taking it nice and easy. There's still signs of obviously the knowledge that she's learnt on the racing lines, and it looks like a very comfortable lap. Approaching now into sector 2, again taking it nice and easy. Up to the Team Sports hairpin. Round she goes again, nice and close to the inside. Yeah, coming out of the Team Sports chicane, coming into sector 3, takes the nice line out, and that will be a complete lap for Roxy.
We are here at a rainy 2024 London ProtoEV event. We're here with Isaiah and Roxy. So, Isaiah, how was your kart today?
My kart was quite fun and quite interesting, as I would say interesting because I got to learn how to find problems with the kart, such as how many beeps there are as an error.
Right. Roxy, when we saw you on track, we had a little spin on your morning session. What was it like pushing these karts to the limit?
It was quite fun, yeah, because this is my first time driving the electric car, so it was something new for me.
Have any of you guys driven electric karts before? Have you driven a petrol car before? What are these electric karts like in terms of how quickly they accelerate and things like that?
I would say the electric karts are good in acceleration wise, but I would say they're not the fastest karts I've driven. But you can also increase the speed. Is it by programming, isn't it?
Yep, so through the programming and different gear ratios you can achieve to make these karts faster. Maybe that's something you'll look at in the development before test day 2. So on that, let's get advancing on with the day.
We are now approaching the end of test day 1. The weather is starting to get up, the wind is picking up, and the marshals are looking a little bit cooler. Unfortunately, Phipps Bridge did not manage to get the kart out in time for the test day, but the good news is the car is working and we have fixed the issues and they will be ready for test day 2 and the race final.
So here we are with our brilliant volunteer marshals. Without the Orange Army, none of this would be possible. And we've even got Carol Glenn out of race control, out in the field in the lovely British rainy weather. But how was it, guys? How do we feel?
Well, I'll tell you, taking me back 30 odd years. I haven't been on track for a long time, but I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It's really good watching the karts. My first time seeing the karts live,
Yeah.
and we're quite impressed. Obviously getting used to the sound or non-sound, a bit like Formula E cars.
Yeah.
But I was quite impressed, on their progression around actually. Yeah.
Brilliant. Our Andrew over here, he has Marshall Formula E today, but what's it like seeing the grassroots of electric motorsport?
Okay, it's a completely different angle of it all. It's good to see the young people getting involved and being enthusiastic. And I hope they go on to do really good things. So I'm looking forward to seeing them out on track later and in the future. So yeah.
So the Orange Army are ready for test day 2. So let's get to it. So that was the end of our test day 1. It was great to see the Oasis karts out there, trialling the different drivers, seeing what the best team outfit is for the day. It was also good news, the fact that we got our other karts going in the end, didn't we? We had a few issues at the start of the day.
Yeah, a few little problems with some of the go-karts on the day, but that's the beauty of our test day. So if you run into problems with the go-karts, you ideally want to iron those problems out during the test day. So that's what it's all about. It's all about the trial of getting the go-karts ready, but you know what, we'll find that sometimes, yeah, there might just be a few little tweaks that need to be made with the go-karts, and that's what it's all about. We encourage the teams just to, it's all trial and error. You're not going to get everything right on the first time, and then we can get our guys at the circuit to come and have a look and see what needs to be changed in order to get it ready for racing.
Yeah, it's a good life lesson. There's going to be hurdles in the way, but it's how you overcome them. And we did, as you saw at the end there, we got the wheels turning on the kart. So anyway, so next up in the calendar is test day 2. So with the other teams having private testing, we used our spare time to give the extra support to our friends at Leaways. They had a bit of a struggle with their kart, so we went down and helped them in London, and then followed by a test day just for them.
Today we are at Leaways School based in Hackney, London.
Here at the front we have the throttle mechanism, and this
during the day the students will learn how to build the kart from scratch and go into detail on how the individual components work. What you are seeing now is what the ProtoEV teams will do from weeks 4 to 8. This will involve the removal of the petrol system and the fitting of the electrical components, such as the motor control unit, the battery systems and the 5 kilowatt motor.
At this point in time, it really doesn't need to be that tight because we may have to move it.
As well as working on the tools, the students will also learn how to work well as a team and what is required to become a successful motorsport
so
team.
Which port on there is you? This. Perfect.
The skills learnt from today will put them in good pathways, leading them to careers in STEM and EV powertrain systems.
Turn your green switch on, and then you'll pull the switch out.
Once all the components are fitted, we need to program the kart and perform a quick test before we hit the track.
Okay. The pedal will move slightly before spinning, and then stay away from the axle. Okay. It is 20 degrees, the sun is shining, and we are back at Croydon here for our Leaways School test day. Just before, I think we're 4 weeks away from the race final now, but the track is nice and warm. The team are ready to go. Let's see how they get on their test day.
So Leaways are at the circuit. Again, we've just got some last minute prep work to do with teacher Liam. So we're going to make sure all the wiring is tied up out of the way, make sure the batteries are all connected, ready to go out on track. Driver Casey, all ready to go. But it appears to be now there is a slight problem. The seat is scraping on the floor. So we're just going to check some minor fixes. Get the marshals getting the suntan up. But it appears to be that the fix wasn't enough, so the kart will have to go back on the trolley for some more work. Hopefully Leaways do get the karts ready in time. Let's not hope there is a stop to the session. So the good news is the kart is ready to hit the track. Casey will be the first of 4 drivers to get out on circuit. Each team member, whether they're a mechanic or driver, will have a go at driving the kart today. So let's see some highlights of Casey's session. So he's joining the circuit here, coming down the start-finish straight. On the approach to turn 1, hits the apex at turn 1. Cuts it very wide on turn 2, which will put his line off on turn 3. You see they're not making use of the whole circuit. But the kart does look very quick here as it comes onto the Innovate straight. Running up into sector 2 now, coming through the bus stop chicane. On the approach to turn 8 now, up to the Team Sport hairpin. That is looking a bit better. Still a little bit tight on the left. And that is a very, very decent lap time.
I'm now here with lead driver Casey. Looked fantastic out there on track today. Really quick driver. What did you think of the karting experience?
It was exciting. At first it was like a little scary because you never knew what was actually going to happen. But once you actually got out there, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, as I said before, he was absolutely flying out there. I think the other teams are going to have some tough competition when we get to the race final in a few weeks' time.
So next up to hit the track is second driver Malcolm. So let's see how he gets on. Entering the circuit and foot flat to the floor, he is gunning it onto the start-finish straight. Very aggressive on the turn-ins coming out of turn 2. He's pushing that kart to the limits regarding the tyre grip, using everything that tyre will hold on to. Coming out of turn 6 now on the approach to sector 2. Getting on that throttle very early into turn 7, that's what we like to see. Round the Team Sport hairpin, again very harsh on the turning in. You can see the tyres fighting for them lives. Coming into sector 3, and that again was a good lap by Malcolm.
So I'm here on the Leaways test day with Malcolm, who's the second test driver for today. So what did you think of the go-karts out there?
It was thrilling, I liked it. It was nice, and it's good to see that we could turn gas to electric. So,
yeah. Have you been petrol karting before?
Yeah.
Have you been electric karting before, aside from today?
Yeah.
At our guys at Team. So what do you think of the difference between the two at there?
I think, to be honest, the acceleration on the electric is better than gas, and it's better for the environment.
Before we run our third session of the day, the batteries will need to be swapped over. Again, it's a good practice to get into. They'll be doing it a lot over the course of the ProtoEV calendar. But next up is Kian. He will be the third driver out today. So Kian is in the driver's seat and he's now entering the circuit. Let's see what he can do as the third team member out on track. Now Kian is taking it very easily. He runs wide out of turn 2. So wide, actually nearly makes contact with the wall, just about holds it in. As a mechanic, he will definitely not want to damage the kart. He'll give himself a lot more work to do. Coming into sector 2 now, hairpin just before the Innovate straight. Very nicely out of there actually. Seems like he is picking up the pace a little bit more. Actually no, he's backing back off again. As I said before, he probably doesn't want to cause too much wear and tear on the karts because it'll be himself who'll have to fix it. Coming out of the Team Sport hairpin onto the final straight of the lap, and they are some highlights of Kian's session. So yeah, a very conservative lap from Kian there. Now it is time for a bit of lunch and get ready for the fourth driver out. Fourth and final driver, I may add, and then that'll be the end of the Leaways test.
I'm here with Kyan from Leaways School, the lead designer of the team. So what's your plans then for designing? What do you think your colour scheme's going to be for when you get there?
I mean, at the moment I'm not really sure, but I reckon we'll probably do something to the school to show that we're representing the school. So
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, we always encourage the designers to kind of follow in the pathway of their school or youth group, you know, show colours that resemble their kind of backgrounds and things like that. But yeah, I'm excited to see what your car looks like on race day in a few weeks' time.
So, last but not least, we have Kimani out on circuit. He is the 4th of the Leaways drivers out today. And again, very, very nice driving, going through turn 1, turn 2, nice and tight coming through turn 3. Again, big thank you to our Orange Army, our marshals. They have done so much for us today and the whole ProtoEV event. So big props to the Orange Army. Again, a good lap for Kimani, but unfortunately we have had to cut his session short. One of our marshals, Andrew, has found a bolt on circuit, so we just want to bring in Kimani, just make sure the kart is okay. So we're just doing some final checks on the kart just to make sure everything is nice and tight and nothing has come loose. So it turns out the bolt was not from our go-kart and everything was still in perfect form. So we got Kimani back out on track and he appears to be taking it very, very nicely through the hairpin sections, nice and quick, coming on the approach to sector 2, bit of a wide exit onto the Innovate straight, coming into sector 2 now on the approach to the Team Sport hairpin. Very nicely through there, nice and tucked in, run out on the way out, coming round to sector 3 now. And again, that was another good session from another Leaways driver. Overall, Leaways have had a good test day today. Not too many issues. All the drivers seem to have had fun and got a lot from it.
Next up, I'm here with Colin, who is the one of the main mechanics here at the Leaways team. Ran into a couple of issues today. Do you want to tell us what they were?
One of the back tyres was going flat, and we also had an issue with the seat.
Yeah, so the seat was a little bit too low. It was just scraping a little bit, but we managed to get that sorted, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we got the guys out on track. So in terms of mechanics, that's a successful day. Last but not least, we have Liam, who is the staff member at Leaways School. What was it like seeing the young people out on track today?
I couldn't be more proud of them, sir. So it's a great opportunity for them to try something new, compete, test out the equipment. I'm personally proud of them. I'm excited to see where this goes and excited to be part of the project. So shout out to everybody on the Blair project.
So that concludes the test day for Leaways. The team have done brilliant today, whether it be testing or fixing issues, and we will see you all now at the final.
So test day 2 went down a treat. The Leaways team overcome a few issues at the start of the day, but with a good team behind them, they got through them and got their kart running by the end of the day. So Blair, what's next?
So now that leads us on to the main event, the ProtoEV 2024 race final. But before we get into the race final, here's a quick message from our partners.
Hi, I'm Paul from 3D360. Just going to tell you a little bit about our funded and subsidised Department for Education Skills Boot Camps. We deliver a skills boot camp in advanced manufacturing, 3D printing, 3D CAD, digital manufacturing and fourth industrial revolution technologies. It's a 60-hour programme, level 3 equivalent. Part of that course is we teach you 3D printing, we teach you robotics, automation, AI, AR, VR technologies, Internet of Things and cyber. And one of the things, you get a free 3D printer as part of that course, so you can continue your learning or go straight into production activities after that.
So again, a big thank you to our partners for making this event possible. But now it is time for our race final. All 5 karts are ready to go. They're all, hyped up, ready. The teams are ready. Karts are ready. They're looking brilliant as well this year. I have to say, they are looking really, really good. But anyway, as well as obviously the main event of the racing, we also have a careers fair. Can you tell me a little bit more about that, Blair?
Absolutely, Micah. Absolutely. So, in terms of how we're doing the ProtoEV STEM challenge this year, we've also scheduled a few of our partners and sponsors to come down and run a careers fair event with some of our young people who are going to be there at the track. These organisations include Formula One, the Electric Revolution Skills Hub, Innovate UK and Team Sport Karting. They're going to be doing a speak to them about how they can get involved in careers in STEM and the opportunities that are available to the young people in this sector. So exciting times ahead. It's giving back to young people that wouldn't normally get the opportunity to be shown career paths in STEM, as opening their eyes up to the world of opportunity that's out there for them.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Blair, but I think I enjoyed the stands as much as the kids did. So anyway, let's get into the main event of the year. This is the ProtoEV London 2024 final.
We are back in Croydon for the final time in 2024. This is the ProtoEV London 2024 race final. Before we get on board with the day, first here's a recap of the teams. First up is the only Oasis Family, based here in Stockwell. Coming into 2024, bringing a new team and a new car design in attempts to hold on to the ProtoEV Champion trophy. Next up, we have Too Fast Too Furious. This is the second annual addition to the Oasis Play fleet. This all-girls team hope to steal the victory away from the Oasis boys team. Our next competitors are Team Dream Boba from Phipps Youth Group. This team is one of 3 new sign-ups for the 2024 season. They hope to put in a winning performance with their impressive kart design and confident presenting skills shown to ERS Hub, who attended our careers fair. Also joining the 2024 season is Woodpecker YC. With the team having a late entry, the team still have some finishing touches, but will definitely be ready in time for the grand final. Last but not least, we have Wacky Racers from Leaways School. Despite having a few issues on their private test day, the team is now ready to try and claim the ProtoEV London 2024 trophy. So, they are the teams ready to win. But first, as always, Blair runs through a briefing on what will happen during the day and what the teams will need to do in order to become the ProtoEV London 2024 champions. So the time is now, and the first team to hit the track is Too Fast Too Furious with driver Nirvana. So let's take a look at some of her highlights throughout the race final of 2024. Little bit slidey coming through turns 1 and 2. Maybe the kart tyres are still cold, obviously being an out lap, and it looks like she's having a little bit of trouble there, messing with some of the electronics beneath her knees, but she seems to have got it going again. Again, taking it very cautiously, coming through Sector 2 on the approach into the Team Sport hairpin. Taking up a little bit of speed now, coming around the Team Sport hairpin, and she spins. Nirvana has spun, but it's not to worry, as it is only the out lap. Oh, and she spun again. Thankfully, this is only the out lap, so she still has time to get them crucial lap times in. So let's see how she can do throughout a little bit more of her session. Nirvana looks a little bit quicker coming through turns 1 and 2 there. Still taking it steady through turn 3 and still looks like she is having some form of issue. I really hope this doesn't impact on her lap times. She's got a 10-minute session to get these lap times in, so hopefully we do get one flying lap out there. Here we are coming into Sector 2. Let's hope we can take the hairpin a little bit better. And she spun. She has spun again. That is another lap which we will have to void with the lap times, as it is certainly not going to be quick. Now, Nirvana did get some time set, but that is the end of her session. Nirvana is greeted by her team as the next team get ready to hit the track. Next up to hit the track is Team Dream Boba with driver Laney from Phipps Youth Club. So Laney hits the track with Team Dream Boba, and again I just want to say how well this kart looks. You know, the colours of the karts and the design of the kart itself. There's been a lot of thought that's gone into this, but anyway, let's get back to the lap. So Laney's taking it very cautiously on her out lap, but I have to say these lines are looking good. Coming through turn 4 now onto turn 5, could be a little bit closer on the inside there, but now we are approaching the Innovate straight. Hopefully in the timed laps she picks up the pace just a little bit, because you know them Oasis teams from the test days and Leaways were very quick, so let's see what she can do. On the approach up to the Team Sport hairpin, very nicely through there, I do have to say. Coming out of Sector 2 now into Sector 3, maybe again oh no, she was very close there actually. I was going to say she could have a kart width on the inside, but no, she took that very well. Moving on to a new lap now, so flying lap now. Coming down the straight on the approach to turn 1. Could be a little bit wider, but I don't think it's going to interrupt too much on her time. Nicely through turn 1 and turn 2. Keeping to the right hand side before turn 3. Using the camber at turn 3 to pull around the bend. Coming through turn 4 now, past the Marshall post. Keeps it nice on the inside. Nice and wide through out onto the Innovate straight. Laney now coming into Sector 2 on the approach through 7 and 8. Coming up to turn 9, which obviously we know as the Team Sport hairpin. Looking nice, you can see the faint markings in the tarmac of where the racing line should be. Laney holding a very nice line there, past Carol Glen. Through now, coming out of Sector 2, turn 11, onto the little straight before the final 2 turns. And that again is a very good session by Team Dream Boba. As part of the STEM programme, the teams also took part of our Careers Day, and we had organisations and companies such as Innovate UK, F1, Team Sport and ERS Hub. During the Careers Fair, the youngsters got to speak with the representatives about opportunities that they could go into after education.
So I'm here with Will from Team Sport. As you can see behind, he's got lots of activities going on to engage the young kids, getting them engaged in STEM careers and also giving an insight of what it's like being a racing driver. So Will, tell us a little about what you're doing here.
Yeah, brilliant. Look, first of all, thanks for inviting us down today. The Blair Project, it's such a great initiative to get young people, into STEM subjects, and it's great to see so many suppliers here as well, kind of demonstrating what they can offer. So we're down today. We've got a few of our staff members down, and they're going through a lot of the things we do with our BIKC members and our cadet academy. Looking at things like reaction times with catching the ball. I think you see there the two girls are playing the head, shoulders, knees, toes ball game. So they kind of done a bit of this, and yeah, it's really, really cool. And it's showing that the kind of reaction times that you need on circuit and how that kind of benefits to a faster lap time, I guess.
Yeah, and the BIKC, the British Indoor Karting Championship, is massively growing, and it'd be great to see some of the young females getting involved. Women in motorsport is a massive movement at the minute. We're behind it, Team Sport behind it. We also share the same passion of converting to electricity, to the electric carts. We both used to deal with petrol carts, and now we're going electric. So it's nice to have a company like Team Sport on board with our programme who share the same goals. Next up, we are here with Robert from our title sponsor, Innovate UK. Without these guys, none of the youngsters will be allowed to kart today. So first of all, a massive thank you for that. Secondly, what do you think? What do you think of ProtoEV?
Well, I think it's a whole range of things you've got the kids involved in. The engineering of those go-karts are impressive. I can see all the power electronics in there, as well as the battery. And how the battery is actually encased and it's located in a very nice spot. Yes, it creates a weight for the go-kart, but goodness me, I wonder what it was like with the combustion engine and the petrol and all the emissions. It's so clean. So there's a lot of skills that's gone into that. Impressive.
Yeah, I mean, the kits themselves, we worked out, it's only about 10 kilo heavier than the petrol variant, the Rotax go-kart. But off the line, these ProtoEV go-karts will be much quicker in acceleration. You've got the instant torque of the electric motor, despite it only being 5 kilowatts. We have got a 10 kilowatt back at our workshop, so it'll be interesting to see how that compares to the Rotax maybe over the course of a lap. But yeah, thank you very much for all that you do at Innovate UK, and we'll keep on innovating.
Well, good. It's good to see all the funding put to good use, and the skills that it's impacted on the kids, and we hope they can get into industries like Formula One.
We are here with Ed from Formula One. First of all, welcome to ProtoEV.
Thanks for inviting me down. Yeah, first time I've been. It's a really great looking project, and really pleased to be here, really.
Yeah, you saw this morning's practice. What did you think of the speed of the cars? Were you impressed?
They're quick. There's obviously a couple had a bit of problems here and there out there, but I think, it's impressive. And, for me, it's more about the engineering that goes into it and seeing the young kids sort of like getting involved in engineering. And that's the exciting part for me, really, seeing them getting hands-on, getting motivated and interested in engineering, because I think it's important in the UK.
Yeah, I totally agree, and it'd be good as well if we could get these guys either into careers within F1 or even going down the F1 in schools route. That's a project we've worked closely before with as well. And again, it's a similar kind of outcome that we're pushing for. It's giving the opportunities for these base skills and things like that in engineering and STEM. And giving them that chance to have a future within motorsport or STEM.
Yeah, and I think when you look at what they're doing, it isn't just about the race driving; it's about the engineering, and it's about the teamwork. And there's so many careers in F1 and motorsport that aren't just about the race driving. There's a huge range of careers that they could go into, and I think this has given them a taster for that.
Yeah, and I second that. I've worked with numerous motorsport teams in the past, and it's not just about the person in the hot seat. It's the whole team around them. It's the technicians, it's your engineers, it's your data people back at base, even up to your principals. It takes a winning team to create success. Well, yeah, thank you very much, Ed.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. And the fourth of our stands here at the Jobs Fair, we have Adita from ERS Hub. And again, first of all, thank you for coming up today. You know, the youngsters have been very engaged with your stand, as they have with the others. But tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do at ERS Hub.
So I am a business development manager in the ERS Hub, but overall my role is innovation manager. So I deal with innovation, with anything new.
Brilliant. Again, innovation is what we're doing here at ProtoEV. What do you think of the go-karts? Have you seen anything like this before? What's your opinion?
Nothing like this. It's super exciting. It was actually a bit nerve-wracking as well. Looking at the teams, I know how excited they are, and it's, you know, seeing is it working, is it not working, seeing some of them struggle, but it's super exciting to be here.
Yeah, and same again with the track action. Did the speeds of the karts? Did you think they were going to be that quick, or did you think?
No, actually, I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, thank you very much, Adita, and hope to see you again in the future.
Absolutely.
Getting back to the track action, we have Amza driving the last year's winning kart. They are the only Oasis family. So here we are, last year's winners with a new team and a new kart. This is the only Oasis family. And can I just say, this is a brilliant start from Amza. He's taken turn 3, the very tight, slingshotting him out to the turn 4. Takes it very nicely in, very tight round turn 5. Now approaching the Innovate straight. Coming through now section 2 of the circuit. Again, nice and tight, coming up to the Team Sport hairpin. Very nicely done through there by Amza. Coming out of turn 11 now, takes it wide up to the left hand side of the track. That should give him a good exit through 12 and 13, making that next lap a brilliant flying lap. He's even got his head down to try and reduce the drag. Very nicely again through turn 3. On the right hand side on the approach to turn 4, nicely on the inside. Again, very tight on the inside of turn 5, coming onto the Innovate straight very nicely. A little bit of scraping coming from the car, but it's nothing, I think, to worry about for the team or the driver. Very nicely again through the Team Sport hairpin. Coming out of Sector 2 now, onto Sector 3, and again, that is a brilliant performance by Amza and the only Oasis family. The fourth team to take the circuit is Obi and Woodpecker Youth Centre. So Obi hits the circuit in the Woodpecker Youth Centre go-kart, and he is now coming down on the approach to turn 1. Let's see how we can take the first sector. Quite a nice line there through turn 1 and 2, correct positioning for the approach to turn 3. Nicely through 3. Could have gone a little bit wider on the exit of 3 on the approach to 4 and 5. Nice and tight through 5 onto the Innovate straight. Let's see how we can do in sector 2 of this opening lap. Seems to be maintaining the pace on the approach to the Team Sport hairpin. Nice and tight in there. Probably could have gone a little bit wider again on the exit, but it has put him in a good position for turn 10 and 11. Approaching the back now, coming through turn 12. And to be fair, it seems like a decent lap. But he doesn't finish, he pulls into the pit lane. There must be an issue with the Woodpecker Youth Centre go-kart. So let's see if we can get that checked, and we'll get him back out on circuit ASAP. So we are back out with Obi and the Woodpecker Youth Centre go-kart. Seems to be much quicker this time round through turn 1, turn 2. Still tight again on the approach to turn 3. Let's see how we can fix that for the first sector. A lot nicer on the approach to turn 5, and squares off the corner, so he gets a good run through the Innovate straight. Let's see how we can do on the approach into sector 2. Coming through turn 8 now, nice and tight. Seems a bit juddery on the movement then, but I don't think that'll hinder his lap time too much. Very, very nicely there through the Team Sport hairpin, using the camber of the track. Again, very nicely coming out of turn 11 on the approach to the last 2 turns, and again, I think that is a very good session by OB and the Woodpecker Youth Centre. Last but not least, to hit the circuit, we have the Leaways Wacky Racers with Casey at the helm. Let's see how we can do in the ProtoEV London 2024 final. So Casey hits the circuit in the Leaways Wacky Racers go-kart, and let's see how we can get on in the final session. Very nicely through turn 1, a little bit wide through turn 2, but makes up for it through the tight-hander turn 3, gets really close in on that apex and uses the camber of the curb. Does exactly the same through turn 5, making sure he uses as much of the runoff as he can coming onto the Innovate straight. Entering now into sector 2, through turn 7, through turn 8, and this seems an overall good lap. Coming through the team sport hairpin, a little bit of slide on the exit then, but I don't think that would have slowed him down too much. Coming out onto sector 3 now, seems to be using a lot of the runoff. Let's see how Casey can get on in the Leaways Wacky Racers go-kart for the second half of his session here. Again, very good in turn 1, a little bit wide in turn 2 and 3 this time. Could have gone a little bit wide on the exit turn 3, but makes it up in turn 4 and turn 5 onto the Innovate straight. Overall, again, quite a good performance. Could be a little bit wider coming down the Innovate straight there. You can see half a kart width to the left of where it was. Use a bit more space. On the approach to the team sport hairpin now, very, very quick through there. Coming into sector 3 now, there's turn 10, there's turn 11, and again, a brilliant session by the Leaways Wacky Racers and Casey. Casey greeted with his tutor Liam, making sure everything was okay. He seems proud of Casey's session there, and so do the rest of the team as well. That was a very good session by Casey, but is it enough to take the victory?
Months of hard work, dedication and innovation have brought us to this moment. Teams from across London have transformed their go-karts into electric racing machines, pushing the limits of speed, design and ingenuity. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for, the ProtoEV 2024 Awards. For our first award, we have the Best Design Award. Our first award is for the Best Design Kart and Team Logo. This award celebrates creativity, precision, and also attention to detail. Sponsored by ERS Hub, the Best Design Award goes to Too Fast, Too Furious. Our next award is the Best Entrepreneur Award. We recognise the team that excelled in fundraising and delivering their presentation. The Best Entrepreneur Award goes to Too Fast and Too Furious. The next award is our Best Media Award. So this award goes to the team who shared their journey with us through creativity and storytelling. Our next award is for the team that kept us most informed with their progress throughout the challenge. And so, the Best Media Award goes to the Leaways Wacky Racers. Our next award is the Best Team Award. This award recognises not just teamwork, but also the spirit that drives it. This award is split between team morale and work ethic. And sponsored by ERS Hub, the Best Team Award goes to the only Oasis Family. The next award is the Best Team Leader Award. Behind every great team is a dedicated leader. The next award goes to the most supportive team leader or teacher. Sponsored by ERS Hub, the Best Team Leader Award goes to Liam from Leaways Wacky Racers. Our next award is the Fastest Lap Award. Speed is at the heart of every race. Our next award goes to the driver who clocked the fastest lap during today's final. Sponsored by none other than Team Sport, the fastest lap award goes to Amza from the only Oasis family. Our next award is the Best Innovation Award. At ProtoEV, innovation is key. This award recognises a team with the most unique and impactful kart setup. Sponsored by Innovate UK, the Best Innovation Award goes to Team Dream Boba. And our final award before we get to the top 3 is the Investigation Award. So, problem solving is at the core of innovation. Our next award celebrates the team that demonstrated the best use of investigative skills throughout the competition. Presented by none other than ProtoEV's Michael Lawrenson, the Investigation Award goes to the Leaways Wacky Racers. And now for the final standings of ProtoEV London 2024. In third place, we have Too Fast, Too Furious. In second place, last year's champions, the only Oasis family. And the winners of ProtoEV London 2024 are the Leaways Wacky Racers. Congratulations to Leaways, our 2024 champions.
So, you have just won ProtoEV. How do you feel?
I'm really excited. I'm really proud of myself as well.
Nice.
I wasn't expecting to win.
But I think all of the hard work that we put in, I was glad to see that none of it went unnoticed. So proud of the children, obviously proud of the collective work what all of us had to do to get to where we are today.
Well, that is the end of the race final. Big well done to Leaways and all the other teams as well. It was nice to see a big variety in the trophy handouts. It wasn't a domination as much as it was last year. But yeah, it has been a really good event. What do you think?
Honestly, from beginning to end, I was just so impressed with just how well all of the participants have worked in the project. Just seeing all their completed karts, which just looked amazing, and just getting to see all of them testing and racing their vehicles out on track. And then as well, just as you were saying, it's just the variety of different awards that we were handing out to the different competitors who were there on the day. It was just fantastic experience. And also just a big shout out to all our partners who came down on the day. You know, we had representatives from Team Sport, Formula One, ERS Hub, and our main sponsors are Innovate UK, and just them giving their time and just taking interest in the young people and just speaking to them about how they can get involved in like just the world of STEM. It was just fantastic, and you can see how much of a difference it makes when you're going into into the community and you're showing people the world of opportunity out there, and also they've went and took part in our partners also took part in handing out the trophies there on the day as well. So just take us through that, Mike, because obviously with you announcing everything.
It was nice the fact that our partners could actually be there on the day and get involved and show obviously all the hard work that the whole team and the participants have done over the last 3 months.
Absolutely. And I just want to say a big thank you and shout out to the STEM ambassadors and the marshals who have been assisting us over the past few months as well. So the STEM ambassadors who we get to help the teams when they're putting the go-karts together. So they provide that technical support for some of the teams if they need that extra bit of guidance with putting the go-karts together. And also our marshals, Carol Glenn and Andrew Wint, for also giving 3 days of their time, and then Carol as well with the induction day, just to essentially, provide that extra bit of safety for our young people when they're testing out on track and doing the race on the race final as well. So once again, a big shout out and thank you to the volunteers who have essentially provided that service to help us run ProtoEV, because without them, all this wouldn't be possible.
Yeah, just to second that, me as well personally being part of the Orange Army, marshals. It is a tough job to do. You know, they deserve all the respect we can give them, sort of thing. So, ProtoEV, obviously, we are going from strength to strength. We are growing as a community, not just as a team, but the people who participate as well. It's really nice to see that community growing. So if you do want to join us next year, whether it be as a partner or as a competitor, where can they go, Blair?
The links down below. Make sure you sign up in the link below to ProtoEV for 2025. We're looking to. We know there's going to be fiercer competition taking place in ProtoEV for next year. So make sure you sign up, and then what we can do is we can look at getting you and your team on the grid for what I'm sure is going to be another exciting season of the ProtoEV STEM Challenge.
And that is now time for the closure. That is the end of ProtoEV London 2024. See you next year.